ruin my life. Yeah, you guys can request up if you're here. I mean, if you're here from the last live or not, it doesn't matter. Because I don't know how long they're going to take to end that live, but I'm just trying to re-facilitate the discussion between... Unfortunately, it's on meta-ethics about objectivity and subjectivity. And unfortunately, we're going to hear the gastronomical argument, or, we're going to hear that argument. We're going to hear the pizza argument. Unfortunately, we're going to hear that a couple more 100,000 times. But if you guys want to request up to facilitate that discussion, that's okay. And so Whitney's probably ending her live right now, and so they'll be here pretty soon. Wait, boom, 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 boom. I'll share the live. I'll share the live with them. Let's see. It was, Jmike was there. Then we had... Wait, what? I can't use... You brought it back up again, Tupac? You're the one who brought it back up again? There is a girl in the lobby of a cheap hotel. Nah. Oh, dang. Yeah, Robbie I didn't know, because he's not arrogant about it like Mitch. I didn't know Robbie was like an astrophysicist until, somebody else, he was listening to somebody go on for like 20 minutes about wrong stuff, right? And they said, Robbie, why aren't you saying anything to this guy? And then Robbie was like, yes, so I'm an astrophysicist, bro. And so everything you said was just wrong, according to the literature. And it was just awesome. Yeah, but Mitch is arrogant about it. Mitch, the scientist, we get it, But yeah. Imagine if it was Tupac 420, the medical doctor. That's wild. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, invite. Yeah, sir, you can come on up. Boom. Jim was just here.
Hello?
So who brought up subjectivity versus objectivity again?
Well, it was kind of a long ongoing discussion, so I don't know for sure where it originated, but
Wait, 1 second. Wait, Tupac. Are you actually Cool Guy Jeff? Like the one that I know and have known for years?
yeah, that's
Wait,
him.
that's insane. Okay, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, well,
I've been.
the
Go
kind
ahead.
of the kind of confusion that was on the table was so Mason said he's an anti-realist, and then he said moral realism is obviously false, right?
Yeah.
And Dr. Truth asked, is that are you objective is that objectively true that moral realism is false?
Yeah.
And Mason said, yeah, because that's not a normative view. Like that, the statement moral realism is false would be true
It's dependent on
independent
my
of,
stance.
no, that would be true. The moral realism is false would be true independent of stances, right?
Oh, right. Whether or
Yeah,
not it's true. Yeah, right. I get it. Yeah.
but the view itself, the view itself, moral anti-realism or moral anti-realism anyway, would be dependent on people's stances. So when they're talking about what's right and wrong and how we kind of cash that out, that would be a stance dependent idea.
Yeah.
But the statement itself Moral realism is false would be stance independent. That's kind of, and like, that's what we were trying to explain to him when I gave the analogy about taste. I said that we both agree that taste is subjective, but the statement that taste is subjective is is a statement.
It's objective. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
the
pizza.
stance independent.
Subjectively true. Is it true
Yeah,
that I like pizza? Objectively true, right?
yeah,
Like,
something like that.
yeah,
I'm on
exactly.
Discord. I'm sorry.
It's objectively true that I have that opinion, right?
Yes, yep, that's the
Yeah,
idea. Yeah.
yeah. So just to
No,
geek
it's
out for a
actually a
second.
little bit more nuanced than that. It's objectively true that the opinion that taste is subjective is objectively true.
Yes. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just joining like random lives, but what's this one about mainly?
We're talking about meta-ethical views on objectivism versus subjectivism, namely moral, like anti-realism. Being true or false. But yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to facilitate a specific discussion. So if those two people come, we're probably going to remove people to make space. But until then,
Zach, who are you on Discord?
I'm not.
We
I'm
just
not any.
we
I
just
have a
like talk about
Discord.
random things because like,
How old are you? Are you 18? You got to be 18.
oh, bye y'all.
Bye.
And how'd you know
Yeah.
me for years? So?
So, you don't. Well, I mean, obviously, you have some sort of like awareness of like who you are, right?
I mean, yeah, I know who I am. Go on.
In like a people who enjoy Discord debating circles, you're like not like a regular person.
What? What does that mean?
Wait, just one second. I just want to see if there's humility or there's arrogance. I don't know. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah. I have there are a number of videos that I think are important enough to save on my like YouTube downloads, right? And one of them, among like
Hello guys,
like
how are you?
1 second, bro. One of those among like 16-hour-long videos on everybody who's ever debated the problem of evil, is you and I forget who it was, but you were talking to some guy, and you were basically like inventing atheist precept, right? And that's the argument to this day that I run. When you say God knows things, does he know things the same way you know things? And if you say that you need God to ground knowledge and intelligibility, you don't know what does that for God, and God's the one that does that for you. So when atheists give their reasons, and even if they're lame reasons, they're just as good as your reasons, which are no reasons.
Are you sure that was me?
I know it was because it was a voice, and it was a Yorkie puppy or something as the background picture.
Yeah, that's me.
And
Was
then
I
somebody
talking to-
said, "Who's the guy talking here?" And they timestamped the exact point that I was like, "I've never heard something put that well before." And it was like, "That's cool guy Jeff." And then like I think I've asked in lives where you were at talking, does cool guy Jeff debate anymore? Like I never see him around.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
I think that was probably a discussion with me and Face of Yah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you said when you face of Yah. Yeah, definitely. Because I like part of me will like when you heard that I was like in learning mode at that point. So when you said that, I didn't know what that word was, and I was driving, and I was like, I'm gonna need to remember to look up that word. And then I got home, watched it, and I realized it was just his fucking username, and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Hey, big fan, but don't wanna
It feels so
don't wanna just yap. But yeah, you created my favorite argument ever.
I think I know what video you're talking about now. Okay. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and you can sign it for me. Yeah, but anyway. Was gonna draw out the confusion. Oh yeah. I fully trust anybody who I like have made a mod. I fully trust. Where is Dr. Truth probably is gonna use this as an opportunity to run away.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Tupac, did you drop on purpose?
Well, I don't know. It's fine. I mean, he's around a lot, so we'll probably talk about it some other point.
Yeah. I mean, I can see if Amdir wants to. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Forward it to me.
I saw that like whatever account Cartesian's on now was on also. I mean, if you guys would just want to turn this into like a like have people come up, that's fine. But what's up, Kylo? Yeah, I can add him.
What was what was the conversation about in the other live? I
Well,
like
okay, so um, Mason said that. So Mason was saying he's an anti-realist, right? And he said moral realism is obviously false. And Dr. Truth asked, "Is that statement objectively true?" And Mason said, "Yeah." And essentially, Dr. Truth wasn't tracking the difference between having like a stance-dependent normative view versus saying that that morality's stance-dependent is objectively true. If that makes sense.
that's just not a moral proposition. That's
Yeah, I know, but Dr. Truth wasn't tracking how it's not to say morality is objective or subjective. Like that's the nature of morality itself would be stance independent.
okay, but I mean that's Doctor Truth though. That's like trying to explain it to Rasol or something.
He
Well,
wasn't
I was
truth.
just
He
getting
wasn't
frustrated
truth tracking.
because I tried to explain it like 5 different ways and he didn't get it. And then he started like talking over me and I was getting really frustrated and I think I called him like a dumb fuck. And then he said something about me being autistic.
Oof.
So
Wait, and he's a doctor? I'm just kidding. Imagine.
well, I think he's a chemist, he says, but
Well, yeah, he says, but he also does electric blue eye lens filters and then puts walls of text over them. So
yeah.
Doctor Truth is really one of the people whose intelligence I admire most on this app.
I mean, I gave him an analogy that should have made it crystal clear. I said, "You agree the taste of pizza is subjective, right?" He said, "Yeah, of course, taste is subjective." And I said, "But the statement that the taste of pizza is subjective, you agree that's true independent of anyone's opinion on it, right?" And he said, "Yeah, but somehow he still didn't see how that would translate to morality for an anti-realist."
Dwight said, Dr. Truth is a biochemist, but so is James Tour. So, ooh, Russell, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
I know that you think that you have good reasons to believe in God. Would you like to talk to anybody about them?
No, I'm still confused about the moral realism and the anti-realism.
Sir, batter up.
Because I know, sir, I had a conversation with Ruxer one time, and he was kind of convincing me, but now I think I shied away from it, and I think it still doesn't
Wait,
make
I
sense
didn't
to
hear
me. So,
anything Russell said because I was letting the dog out. What did he say?
okay. Can you explain to me what the disagreement was? Because
Well, I don't. I've
Dr.
explained it
Truth.
3 times on the live and 5 times with Dr. Truth. So I'll try to explain it one more time. But this time, since you're in both lives, this time actually listen, okay?
I wasn't paying attention 100%, but I'll pay
But you were
attention.
yapping in the comments about how what I
Hold
was
on, let
saying
me
didn't
take
make
my notebook
sense.
out. Hold on, give me one
So
second.
I don't believe you weren't listening, and I think you're
Taking my
coming up
notebook
here
out.
to ask this question to fuck with me. So this time I'm going to need you to listen, okay?
All right, ready.
Okay. So
Focus.
the disagreement was Mason said morality is normative claims such as X is wrong is stance dependent. So it's dependent on the agent. And he said objective morality and moral realism is obviously false, right? In that last statement, moral realism is obviously false. Dr. Truth asked, is that objectively true? And Mason said, yes. And Dr. Truth was not tracking how the two statements are different. So I gave him the analogy of taste, how taste can be subjective, right? And we would both agree taste is subjective, but the statement that taste is subjective is objectively true. And he wasn't understanding the difference. That's what the discussion was about.
So you're comparing like taste and morality
All right.
as it like a
What the
good
fuck? No,
The one person worse to talk about this with than Doctor Truth.
no,
just
that's not what I said. No. Essentially, something could be. You can think something subjective, the truthiness of it, and that statement that it's subjective could be objectively true. That's all that's being said.
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay.
okay. So what's but why is
It stands
'cause I guess Dr. Seuss
independently
is pushing
true that
back.
I liked Amdir inside of me, but it was also objectively true that he was inside of me.
Yeah, no, I get that part now.
Mhm.
But why is I guess Dr. Truth was kind of pushing back on when Mason was saying that objective morality wasn't true, right? And this is why
Mason never said objective reality wasn't true.
Okay, I thought that's what he said. I thought he was pushing back
Who
on.
the hell would say that?
Okay, no, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, that makes sense.
I just don't get why Amdir has all the fun.
Wow.
There's room for two, baby.
I mean, look at the guy. He's a handsome fella.
That tank top really does it for me. So,
Yeah, as long as you don't make this claim that objective reality is false, or I don't see any issue with it.
You know what it does? You know what does it for me? Him doing the yum yum good ice cream dance on TikTok.
oh yeah, that was good.
True.
Hey, MD, I couldn't sleep, dude. I was like tossing and turning all night thinking about the multiple concrete things being the fundamental, the fundamental of like reality.
I'm sorry to hear
Like-
that.
But I brought that up
Can
to
you help me?
several times. How come you didn't toss and turn when I brought it up to you?
No, because the way Amdir said it is confusing a lot. So can you clear it up for me?
Mad.
Jmike, or
Rasol's
maybe
mad that I won't waste my time with them anymore after I like explained this thing to him months ago, and then he just like reconfused himself all over again. I don't want to put
Yeah,
the
but
effort
I'm not
into
gonna get any
explaining
sleep
it
until
again.
you explain it to me again, though.
Wait, you said you're not going to leave until he explains it to you?
I'm not gonna get any sleep because I'm gonna be tossing and turning thinking about it.
Oh, okay. I had the kick button up, bro. It was going to be so hilarious.
Oh no.
Wait, do you have any good reasons to believe in a god?
Sure I do. Yeah, there's tons of good reasons.
Would you like to talk to anybody on the panel about that? We won't
I'll
interrupt.
talk to you about it. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
We've all talked with Russell about it.
I think I've never talked to him with him before, but I've heard him talk one time about it, so I'm pretty confident. Go ahead.
I've only talked to you, Jmike. I haven't talked to Sir or.
Wait,
or
was he
Amdir
giving
about
a
God.
reason or no?
Recently, I don't get on as much as I used
Well,
to.
me and you haven't.
Yeah,
talked
you're in the
specifically-
you're in the getting off business these days, huh?
I don't think me and you talked.
Well, no, I just had like a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, but yeah.
I don't think me and you talked specifically about the existence of God, but I do recall a conversation where we discussed the persecution of early Christians.
Oh yeah. You're
we're
pretty
talking-
good at that stuff. I need to get better. I won't even try to argue with that with you on that stuff because I'm lacking actually on that
Yeah,
subject.
but I don't think me and you've ever discussed like the existence of God, but I'm not really in the mood to have that discussion with you right now, to be honest. Somebody else might be though.
Yeah. So, by good reasons, do you mean that you have an argument for God?
I don't have I have an informal argument. I don't have like a syllogism that I.
That's
use
fine. Run it.
Yeah, I think tag is a pretty strong argument for God.
Let's render it.
Boo tag.
Premise one.
Well, I think that my argument kind of focuses on kind of like how atheism is very like stupid and irrational.
Wait.
What?
It should be supporting your view, right? Because let's say
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not actual tag. It's like a stealing like parts of tag to attack.
Oh, it's like Frankentag.
Atheism.
So is
it's
premise one atheism is stupid and irrational? Is that what premise one is?
Yeah. What's premise one, buddy?
That's fine. Let's grant it and see where what's he supposed to do.
I'm in the mood to grant. Yeah, let's grant it.
I don't even because I'm not convinced that Russell.
Rasol, is it Russell or Rasol?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to say.
Okay, Rasol. When you said you have an informal argument, are you about to give a formal argument?
No, it's just it's not like a syllogism based argument. It's just like a
Okay,
pointing
so,
out
so Okay, so what's the first
atheism.
line of in the dialogue tree or the dialectical flow or what's the first premise but not formal? What is it?
Yeah, so like the first thing would be that anybody holding to atheism is just irrational in the sense that their epistemology doesn't allow them for any access to objective reality.
And then so I'm gonna try and steelman what you're saying. You tell me if I get it wrong. Atheists can't know stuff with certainty, but Christians can.
No.
I want to ask him what he thinks.
Hold on, it's not even certainty. Atheists can't know anything.
Yeah, so
Objective.
It's not even like not even a certainty.
Why are you focused on the irrationality part if they can't know a single proposition to be true?
Let's just grant that atheists can't know anything. How do you get from there to God exists?
yeah.
Therefore, right? If you want to hold to an epistemology that actually has the possibility to explain objective reality, you will look to some sort of revelatory epistemology.
I hold to a revelatory epistemology.
I don't
see how we're getting to God exists.
We're not getting to, because it could just be equally true that under theism that you can't have intelligibility, right? So
yeah.
we're not.
Also, wait 1 second, Rasol. Like the prompt, I'm down to do like I've done chill discussions before, but the prompt specifically isn't like let's battle our like worldviews, right? It's like you believe in a God, which is true. Do you have good reasons? Let's hear the reasons, right? Stop talking about atheism.
Well, more importantly, like, because Amdir is making a point that it's not like, look, we can grant this, but then it's not clear how we're getting to theism, because it could just be true. Hold on, it could just be true under like theism that you also can't get intelligibility, right?
Or it could just be true that atheists don't know anything, and atheism is true, and just none of us know anything.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of different routes we can go. So how are we guaranteeing this theism thing?
No. Actually, atheism couldn't be true in any scenario.
Rasol, are you saying that if a person was in a coma, God couldn't be real?
Yeah, if a person wasn't born, that's like not a relevant question, right?
Stop.
If a person wasn't born, or a person wasn't.
We need to stay on track with this. We need to stay on track with this dialogue. So atheists don't know anything. How do you get from there to God exists?
Yeah, so remember I told you that I brought in revelatory epistemology being the one epistemological framework that can lead you to knowledge of objective reality.
Okay, let's grant that.
Now, let me just grant you that theists have an epistemology that allows them to know stuff. Atheists don't know anything. How do you get from there to God exists?
Yeah, because look at what Amdir said right before that. What Amdir said right before that is still compatible with what you said, that like atheists just don't know anything, but it's still true that atheism is true, right?
You'd probably have to like derive some argument that like would link the lack of knowledge for atheism and then render atheism false or something. But I don't see how you're doing that.
Yeah, then like if the atheist wants to make that move, that
can you repeat back what Amdir's saying to you, because I want to make sure you understand his objection before we
can't know anything.
Well, you're breaking up, Russell, but could you repeat back what Amdir's like objection is here, or like what his concern is?
Kind of ends right there, right? Because then we wouldn't be able to discuss anything else.
You're breaking up, Russell.
The conversation just ends when you're asked like how you get from atheists don't know anything to God exists. Does the conversation end because you don't have a response?
You repeated it and it makes sense because the atheists just admitted that they're dumb as fuck and they can't have conversations.
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
The atheists didn't admit anything when they asked how you infer that God exists from atheists don't know anything.
Yeah, and my being dumb as fuck has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, we'll
wait. There's a question. There's a question I have, Rasol.
I still love you, Corey.
When an atheist says, "I'm dumb as fuck," is that a true proposition that they know?
Hold on.
Wait, Rasol, you're gonna answer this question. 1 second. When an atheist says, "I'm dumb as fuck," is that a true proposition?
Yeah. As soon as you can see the conversation ends.
Wait, Rasol, you're listening to Yap. Listen and answer me, okay? When an atheist says,
No,
"I'm just,"
you
sorry,
can't ask
Russell.
any other
Russell, how are you
questions.
listening when you're
You're not
talking? How are you listening when you're talking? How are you listening when I'm talking? So listen.
Wait, hold on, but you can't ask me any
No,
questions.
no, you're gonna answer this question, right? If an atheist says, "I'm dumb as fuck," is that a true proposition?
Wait,
Zach, as soon as the atheist acknowledges or finally gets the fact that their epistemology is trash, then conversation ends, right? They can't ask any more
Okay, yeah.
questions
And
about
my question is,
my position.
let's say an atheist says, "My epistemology is trash." Is that a true proposition?
But you can't ask any other questions.
Do you understand
agree with my first proposition?
Do you understand that when I ask you to get from atheists don't know anything to God exists, that's not granting
Hold on.
that the antecedent is true. I'm just asking for the argument for like that conditional.
Did you agree with premise one though? Did you agree with my first proposition?
Can you answer my question?
No, but we can't move until we get clarity on
no,
the
like,
first proposition that I
this
put
Russell,
forth.
this has been the same thing we've been talking about. This is the only thing me and Amdir have only been on one thing the entire time, and we've not gotten a response.
I know this is what I'm saying. Like, are you guys all conceding that atheism is just stupid and can't have any access to?
Do you understand the distinction between granting and conceding, Rasol?
No, in my conversation right now, it would be the same. Are you guys granting me or conceding that, right? It's gonna be the same
Granting is
right?
just saying let's talk as if atheism is stupid and irrational. Okay, but how do you justify the conditional that if atheism is stupid and irrational, then God exists?
But here's the thing, Amdir. I'm not gonna let you like weasel out of this position because my goal here is to have the atheist.
It's not weaseling out. You're not understanding. Look, he's assuming something in your argument to be true to point out something to you, right? And you're just like not. Like, he's helping you in your argument.
Listen,
I don't know why you're being this difficult.
Rasol, do you think that your argument gets better with more clarification or less clarification?
I really want him. I want him to get this. I really want him to get this point because it's like I don't think we're gonna make. I really don't think we're gonna make progress on this.
I mean, it's fine. I can drop him and we can talk to somebody else. But like,
well, no, I mean, it's that. Oh, real quick, it's that it's what he does. This is what Russell does. Like instead of direct, like we'll stick on one thing, and it gets really frustrating because we'll get on one thing, and he's like, well, yeah, but this thing first here over here can we do this? And it's like, dude, you're not even making a point. The point is very simple. That if we grant this thing, how does that show that?
I think it might be most fruitful if I can just talk to Rasol for a few minutes without like too many interruptions.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, so Rasol, how are you getting from atheism is stupid and irrational to God exists?
Okay, first of all, are you conceding or are you acknowledging the fact that premise one
he just fucking did it? What I just said, he just fucking did it.
Please try to listen this time. We'll assume for sake of argument that. All right. We'll assume for sake of argument that. Stop talking as soon as I start talking. We'll assume for sake of argument that premise one is true. How are you getting from premise one being true to God existing? Go ahead.
No, hold on. This is the crux. This is like the important part of tag, right?
The fact that he keeps cutting out right during this is proof that there is a God.
You need to start paying for a better internet connection or something. Stop being poor.
Verizon, okay, man, just get Verizon.
Falls apart.
This is
where you
do with atheism. Look, I can just grant you. I'll grant you everything. I'm going to grant you that theism is true. God exists. I'm a Christian now. How do you get from atheism is stupid and irrational to therefore God exists?
It's not just like, oh, tag is true, therefore the Christian God exists. It's a lengthy conversation. But
is there an argument for that conditional?
To point out that atheism is stupid and nobody should hold that position. That's it.
So do you take your argument to establish that atheism is stupid, or do you take your argument to establish that the Christian God exists?
The first one is the most important part of the argument, but you also can use it to establish
does your argument
important.
establish that the Christian God exists?
It would, yes, it would.
Okay, how do you get from atheism
you
is
first have
stupid
to
and
denounce
irrational,
atheism
do
for me
God
to have a
exists?
conversation with you. You just have to denounce atheism.
Yeah, I
before
just
we have a conversation.
renounced atheism. I just renounced
Okay.
atheism. I'm a
So now
Christian.
you're
How
not
do
an
you get
atheist.
from atheism
You're a
is stupid and
Christian.
irrational
What denomination of Christian are
to
you?
therefore theism is true?
What denomination of Christian
How do
are
you
you?
stop dodging? How do you get from
Hold on, no,
stop
this is more
dodging?
like,
How do you
what
get from
denomination of Christian
atheism
are
is
you?
stupid and irrational to therefore Christianity is true?
Yeah, so therefore, this is where the revelatory epistemology kicks in, right? And then you argue that God is the unifying principle for reality, and then if we are to know anything, it would be through God's revelation, right? And this is where we start going into, hey, God has revealed Himself, and then people will say, hey, well, I have another God that's revealed Himself to me too. So we start comparing other gods, right, and see which God is the most parsimonious.
Nobody
Which
is
God is the most
disputing.
parsimonious
No,
in this
Rasol, you're
revelatory
not tracking.
epistemology.
You're being stupid, Rasol.
No, I'm not being stupid.
Look.
You just don't like what I'm saying.
This is the point.
I'm
Okay, we're granting Christianity. We're even granting revelational epistemology. We're granting that theists have the ability to know things. We're even granting that theists are the only ones with the ability to know things. And then I'm just simply asking you, how do you argue for the conditional that if atheists don't know anything, then theism is true?
Oh no, I never make this like hard claim like Christian is the only like Christianity is true because atheism isn't true, right? I always argue from a place of like, what's a more parsimonious position to hold?
What was my question, Rasol? What question did I ask you?
So hold on. You said because I say that atheism isn't true.
Ask me my question. You're not answering it. I've asked it a whole bunch of times. I want to make sure you understand what I'm asking you. What am I asking you, Rasol?
You asked me. Hold on. You asked me. Okay, even if you, how do I get from atheism being true to like theism being true?
No, you weren't listening. Again, that's not what I asked you. Please listen. I'm begging you to listen.
I summarized what you said, but go ahead and repeat it. If you
No,
think
it's how do you get from atheists don't know anything to theism is true? What's the argument for the conditional statement? If atheists don't know anything, then theism is true.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not, that's not the claim that I'm making. I'm just making that if you are gonna try to argue objective reality and that we have access to it, then you will take in a position that would allow you for access to the subjective reality. That's all I'm saying.
You said that the argument you're giving can be used to show that theism is true. That's what you said. I asked you that.
He's taking that to be that's the important part we're getting to. If you're changing that now,
if
then
this argument is supposed to be getting you to theism is true, which
if you are gonna,
you said this argument's getting you to theism.
I never said it's just a one sentence argument. I never said it's a one sentence argument.
I didn't say it's a one sentence argument. That's why I asked, how do you get from A, atheists don't know anything, to B, theism is true? What inferences are getting you from atheists don't know anything to theism is true? How are you getting there?
True.
You can add as many more sentences as you want.
Look, Rasol, you could have it like some hypothetical syllogism where you have it started out like if atheists don't know anything, and then you have some other like some conditional statements, and you link them up right to this conditional statement that like theism is true, right? And then now you get like some conclusion at the end through like 1.4 or 1.5 hypothetical syllogism that if atheists are stupid, then theism is true, right? You could do it that way, right? There's a way.
I just gave you guys a response, and you guys weren't able to like connect the dots here, right? So I said, if we're gonna argue that there's some sort of objective reality that we can have access or be able to understand, then we would have to hold to an epistemology that gives us access to this objective reality. Atheism is not able to do this. Therefore, we should adopt an epistemology that is able to do this, right? And from what I've seen,
pragmatic argument now.
the whole. I thought that your argument was supposed to conclude in theism is true, not something like you should accept theism, because there's a difference between an argument
I just gave you a response.
And arguing that theism is true, right?
I just gave you a response to what Jmike was saying, right? But I mean, it's a lengthy conversation. I don't think it's going to be just like every time I say something.
Don't respond to me. I shouldn't have interrupted. Don't respond to me. Respond to Amdir. I shouldn't have interrupted. I'm just trying to like. It's just mildly frustrating that you're not tracking this.
I am tracking. It's my first thing that you guys aren't tracking.
Not. It is. I bet everything that I own.
One second.
One second.
Rasol,
over and over again.
Rasol, ask Amdir's question. Clarify it.
Amdir, can you steal my position?
Amdir's question?
Amdir, can you steal? Yeah, I'm asking him right now. Amdir, can you steal my response?
That's not my question.
Rasol, you steal Amdir's question. What did Amdir ask you to do?
He went over. He said, Amdir asked me, okay, even if he concedes or he accepts the fact that atheists can't know anything, how does that make God true or real, whatever?
That's correct. Now do that.
Yeah, but I told you, right? It's not a one sentence response. It's a lengthy conversation.
Start with the first sentence then. Now you and MD are back and forth 1v1 limited interruptions now.
What's the first step of getting from atheists
can we
can't
set
know
this up for
anything to
later?
theists?
I'm in the middle of work and I thought this was gonna be like a quick conversation.
If you don't have time,
just give. If you want to run away, that's fine. Just give.
I'm actually at work. I'm not running away.
First step.
I believe that. We hear.
Defend it. Just give the steps, right?
If you're not gonna run away, just give the first step from atheists don't know anything or can't know anything to theism is true. So what's premise one of that supporting argument?
I think you need to.
So can we set this up for this afternoon, and I'll try to come up with a.
Yeah, I can go live this afternoon to facilitate.
I told you there wasn't a syllogism. It's just an informal argument that
I'm not demanding. When I say what's premise one, I'm not demanding a formal syllogism. I'm just demanding some structure to the reasoning.
Andrew, I'm worried
the reasoning is nebulous, like a kind of water, a jug of water, like a collection of water takes the form of its container, you know.
I'm worried that he's gonna just come back with the revelatory epistemology thing, which you've already granted. So
epistemology, theonomy.
You want to go over that with him so that way he understands that. Look, we grant that Christians have this revelatory epistemology. We grant that atheists are stupid. Now, how do we get to this? How do we? What's the argument for this?
I'm not convinced that going over the same thing multiple times would bring us closer to understanding it.
I just want to I don't know. I want to see support, so I just don't want him to come back with the same thing.
I'll probably go live at 8 or 9, and then if you guys are here, that's fine. But yeah, if you're at work, Rasol, I don't know why you came up here anyway. But it seems like you had time to bloviate. You didn't have
I'm not even paying attention, but
I'm just saying.
Like he always has to go to work.
In the future, though, if we were using these seconds, these precious seconds that you have to answer questions honestly, rather than forget the question, I think we would have made more progress, right? And maybe we would all be Christians by now.
And he did not forget the question, right? Because he ended up repeating the question, so he was just refusing to say what it was. He was just deliberately not answering.
Maybe Amdir's hypothesis is wrong, and this time it just took repeating it 7 times for it to sink in. You know. Rasol, have a good work shift, buddy.
All right, guys. See you later.
Yeah.
But this is the part that I'm not actually sure, because when I've talked with him in the past, he does this thing where he'll want to direct. He's so focused on the thing that he wants to say that he's not listening to you.
Yeah, exactly.
He's thinking about the next thing to say rather than digesting what you're saying. And so I probably would side that he just wasn't actually listening until the 7th time.
Yeah, like the first conversation when we had Jmike, where that guy was just waiting until you finish talking and then saying, if we're all fertilizer in the end, what does it matter? And then it's dude, I just talked to you about my position for 5 minutes and you said the same thing that you said the last 3 responses.
Amdir, I have a tech question. Are you here?
Yeah.
So my laptop, right, the screen is black. How do you get it so the screen is on showing colors and stuff again?
You should probably take a hammer to it.
You get an
Alright, I'll try
external
that.
monitor. I had to do that for a while and use like my laptop as like my tower.
No,
He's
I'm not.
just he's
I had
just
to do
trolling.
I had to do that for a while until I recharged my laptop.
I thought you were saying you broke your laptop.
What you need to do, Mason, is you need to connect it to another monitor so you can see. Go into your file structure, find the folder called System32, and then just delete that one.
Man, we got to bring that back.
Wait, did Dr. Truth come up here?
No, he didn't. But also you didn't. So you guys both ran away.
Well, the reason I didn't is because I didn't see him up here.
That's why you asked if he was up here?
I don't
I asked
like
if he ever came up here.
Dr. Truth is like almost as bad to talk to as Rasol. I don't.
It's crazy, Amdir, that you said it's like talking to Rasol, and then Rasol joined like within 5 minutes. You're like you don't need to do that. You spoke his name and he heard you at work.
Anyway, now this Corey Peterson guy, he was confused about more anti-realism earlier. I'm pretty sure, at least. I could be wrong.
Wait, what? I didn't. What?
Might be the wrong person.
Wait,
yeah. That was you talking about? No, that was I don't remember their name.
People the people on Half Wits Live that were like.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but that wasn't Corey.
Okay.
Hey, God believers, come up and give your reasons.
There's this guy we're talking to about like logic and more realism last night till like 2 a.m.
I heard you, Cartesian. I heard you, and J Rob, you were like hashing out the free will defense is not applicable, and then the best of all possible worlds semantics aren't applicable, and it
We
seemed
didn't say
like
anything about the best possible world stuff, but like I think
it seemed like right at the end, Flenser was saying like, you know, there's no problem with God creating an infinite amount of people that choose Him, so best possible world is just going to be an infinite number or something.
Well, I don't know about the best possible world, but like the dispute was like there was a dilemma where it's like, from what I can see, if he thinks there's middle knowledge, he saw there to be a problem with middle knowledge and alternate possibilities, and so he got rid of alternate possibilities. But then once you get rid of alternate possibilities, you get rid of really any type of free will defense.
Yeah, and then J Rob's response, I know that the argument he took against that was to get distracted at convenient times.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up conceding, so whatever.
Yeah.
Really,
He would ask you a question, and you were like, if it works like this, then this is the result, right? And he was like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then somebody was talking about to Monkey Boy about like evolution or something being something other than like allele mutation or something.
Yeah, some guy was saying he denied evolution, but like these days when people say that, I have stuff I want to ask them, but like Monkey Boy was not really like, so I mean, there's a way I wanted the conversation to go, but it didn't really go the way I wanted to, and then Trey had to leave, so hopefully I can talk to him again.
Yeah, so he was saying he like doesn't hold to evolution, but holds to natural selection or something. Wasn't I remember something like that.
No,
It's
he
weird.
just doesn't accept evolution.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't get it because it's like you could accept evolution and God be true. So it's just like I don't get why do they pick so like many battles, right? Like you could just fight the one battle, is God real? But you fight the battle that like, you know, like evolution is
cultural.
false. Yeah,
cultural thing.
You can also accept evolution and deny natural selection.
You can also just reject all evolution, natural selection, and also reject theism.
That is true.
You could also accept evolution and reject evolution.
That's too far.
Yeah, it's like a Graham Priest. Ooh. Does Grand Priest make any like synthetic? Like, does he have any like true contradictions that are like synthetic identities, or are they all just like these like liars?
Yeah, some are synthetic. Like for example, like the kind of like stipulations ones that are like so legal cases or like stipulatory cases. Like those can be synthetic in the sense that like he wants to say they're true contradictions, but they could also like not be contradictions.
Is he gonna go as far as like competing desires or something? Because that just sounds kind of similar of like having like a desire to do something, but like also some equal desire to not do that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think those arguments are good, but I think he wants to say something like there's one example that's given. This isn't even from Priest, but like where like people will say like if you have a club and to say okay, the name of the club is this, and then decide the next second this is actually not the name or something like that, then they can, if truths depend on stipulation in some way, then you can get contradictions trivially, and a lot of arguments have that kind of structure. And I think for those examples he wants to say, well, whilst those are true contradictions, they could easily like not be, they're like contingent in a sense, whereas like with the liar paradox, right, the liar paradox, if a true contradiction, it wouldn't necessarily be one.
Yeah, but I don't get that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
I don't get that the liar's paradox is even propositional, but I also don't get like if I'm saying like I'm saying something true, I don't get how that's like propositional either. Like,
so Dr. Truth messaged me, and he was like, "Feel free to explain my position. If I'm being dumb, if I'm being a dumbass, please let me know." But what he's saying is that it's one thing to say if moral realism is false, it's objectively true that it's false, being that it's a conditional. And then he's saying it's another thing for Mason to say moral realism is false and claim his stance dependent proposition is objectively true. If it's true or false, of course, that's mine independent, but I was speaking strictly about his subjectively made proposition. I was not disagreeing.
That's just a bunch of gibberish.
Yeah. He still sounds completely confused. Can you respond to him? What he said? Let him know if he's what? If he's like being completely stupid. Can you let him know?
let him know he's being a dumbass.
He was at work, so he couldn't get up on the live because I invited him.
I think Rasol and has anybody ever seen Rasol?
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, they're the same person. They had to go to work at the same time, you know.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think he's saying it's not really proven if moral realism is true or not true, and so because it's not proven, therefore it's not objectively true or false.
I mean, it's not even clear that it's something in the category of like being believed as true if it's not propositional.
It's also like not proven, that there's an even number of atoms in the universe, but it doesn't mean it's not either, objectively true or objectively false that
it is. God. Yeah, exactly.
That's where he's getting confused, right? That the truth maker of that is not going to be something that's dependent on somebody's stance, and he just thinks that claiming that it's a conditional is still stance dependent or something.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think that he can probably join on the panel, and he just doesn't want to.
Ooh, that's a hypothesis. I mean, he's not here. There's an open spot for him,
You subjectively think that, but it's not objectively true.
Wait, Just Jim, I'm wondering, when Dr. Truth DMs you, is it also a huge blocky blue wall of text over like crystallized blue eye filters?
No, I get those on a daily basis. But this is just a block of black text over white background.
Yeah, Dr. Truth is the only person that posts TikToks that have like "to be continued" 7 times, And I'll see like 4 out of 7, and something will be interesting, whether because it's dumb or whatever, and I'll be like, "God damn it! Now I have to go read this whole chapter."
Is cum stance dependent?
Like, I mean, if you want to like shoot as opposed to dribble out, you're like, Yeah, your stance probably matters. Like a wide stance, maybe. Like a lot of calf flexing.
You picked up what I'm stepping in.
Yeah, what I'm stepping in is frothy ejaculate.
I was watching the league, and this guy Taco is like I can't remember his name. It's like Jason something. He's in like a bunch of different shows. He just plays like the crazy guy, but he's like, yeah, man. You know what I'm gonna do? Me and your buddy. Like he picks out like the two like grossest guys. He's like, man, we're gonna be here all at your house all weekend. We're gonna bump buds with some chick, and we're gonna get our frothy goo together, man. And we're gonna have just a little demon one of us just run around. It's like the way they describe it's the fucking nastiest shit.
Ew, yeah, that's gross.
In my life, but it somehow made it on like cable television. It's hilarious.
What show is that?
It's called The League. I'll send you.
Oh yeah, about the fantasy football people.
Yeah, it's so.
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I can't do it justice, and I'll probably get your live banned. But
is fantasy football subjective? I'm just
it's the money that I was paying my rent off fantasy football for a while. So
you're a football guy?
I'm not anymore. I mean,
yeah, you don't have the football guy accent.
I was like really into it I played fantasy baseball for like 12 years, so I was like really into it, and I just stopped caring. But I still play. I still like I'll pay $100 for like 3 different leagues. So I'll put in like $300 a year, and then I haven't won in a while, but hopefully this year I will.
But it's something like if you take it seriously, you more likely win than not.
Yeah, I haven't I did it this year, and I haven't watched a single game. But I used to like have 8 television screens, or like with like red zone and
yeah.
Yeah, I used to be like really into it.
It's off topic now, but going back to funny word choices, I was in a like a schmabortion debate panel, right? And then somebody I was in the comments, right? And somebody comes up and they say that they're pro-life, and the host says, "I don't know about that. You got a pro-choice accent," and it was the funniest thing to me. Because they came up, they're like, "Yeah, I'm pro-life," and they're like, "Yeah, you got that pro-choice accent," and I was like, "Wait, what? Pro-choice accent? That's crazy."
Is there anybody here who's able to defend God existing?
I think you're only asking Aiden, right?
Yeah, man, I totally believe in him. Like, who else wrote the fucking Bible?
Phenotypic traits can't rise to succession in a population unless there's a mind behind it.
Oh, the phenotypical argument for God?
Yeah.
Wait. We could do something good here.
Tag an Amdir in, and I'm gonna go get some food.
Oh.
I think it's self-evident that theism is true.
And then what's the supporting argumentation for that?
Why would I need supporting argumentation? It's self-evident.
Well, I do want to say, me and Amdir, we had this. I kind of stole it from Amdir, but he proposed this idea that we write a paper and take Fodor's argument and just basically use it for theism. But then I suggested towards the end, we just make this move where we have some scientific anti-realist consideration where we shouldn't be committed to unobservables. And so even though God is the best explanation, it doesn't mean that it's true. It's just positing this entity as the best explanation and just bait and switch at the end. I really do want to write a mock thing with you on that. I think we could run around on TikTok and run that.
I've had an idea of reductives like that where it's I've had an idea of describing a historical biblical claim, right? Sir has been talking with me about some anti-Trinitarian version of Matthew, a Matthew passage or something. Me going into somebody's live and trying to explain to them that the Christian God is real using Bible verses, but because I say I'm an atheist at the beginning, they have contention at every point and just showing how dumb they are.
Yeah, but it seems like even if you think it's true that God exists, you also have to show that it's not also false that God exists.
Well, I don't know why you would have to do that, because if you prove that God exists, that means that God doesn't exist, right?
Well, yes, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is why there's an additional burden. Presumably some people want to say it's just true that God exists, and it's not both true and false.
Yeah, but they don't mean just there as in willy-nilly. They mean just as in justice.
No. Just as in like only true and not true and false.
Yeah. Oh, it's just it's just true.
Or
Yeah,
maybe you could say like
those people are
if the
idiots.
liar if the liar paradox is a true contradiction, then God doesn't exist. Modus ponens from there. And
Yeah.
the reason why that argument is sound is because God would never create a world of true contradictions.
And that would be that's funny. But God, I take it God is a container that just takes the shape of his surroundings.
We could just propose like it was the case sans creation, God created the external world, but committed deicide in the process, so the proposition God doesn't exist is now true. But it was.
The funny thing with the joke I just gave is that modus ponens is not like typically a pair consistently valid inference. So, especially because like one of the atomic propositions or whatnot, what could be a true contradiction.
Wait, Mason, you just told a joke?
Yeah, and then he explained
it was like embedded into like paraconsistency, so
Yeah. He both told a joke and didn't tell a joke in the same time in the same
Mason,
sentence.
what's the argument that that's a joke?
Certain things that count as a joke.
Sorry.
So it has to have like a type of punchline, some type of type of entendre.
What was the punchline there?
Well, the punchline was use a modus ponens argument where.
Wait, that's not the punchline. You're just saying the joke again. What was the punchline?
No. Yeah, the punchline. What by punchline? Do you just mean like the part that sold the delivery of the joke?
Listen, in order for
the part that was the bait and switch. Yeah, that undercut the expectation of the listener.
Is a joke a joke if the audience doesn't get why it's funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a non-funny joke.
It might actually even be funnier to Mason in the cases where most people don't get it.
Yeah, and because it strokes his ego.
But by the way,
when people don't get your joke or find it funny, I feel like that shouldn't stroke anyone's ego. It just means you're bad at telling jokes.
No. But it's going to be the reasons there. If somebody doesn't get your joke because it's very smart, and then you're very smart, and they're not very smart, an egotistical person might think that's worth not being funny for because it makes them smarter than the people around them.
But let me tell you something. When we were talking to that guy last night, right? Amdir DMs me and he says, this guy got his degree from McDonald's University or something.
Wait, which guy?
I forgot his name.
You talking about the guy you were talking logic and something with?
Oh yeah. That narrows it down.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's how I describe my interactions too.
Yeah. His name Justin or something. I forgot his name.
Justin W.
I think I specifically said Trump University.
Oh, whatever.
Justin W. is not that bad.
No, I like him. He's a cool guy.
Mason, if someone's honest,
my views on antinatalism, my view is that if Christianity is true, I think we should be antinatalist. But
Mason,
I'm also an antinatalist, and I also have an argument that pro-life is immoral, but also Jim does as well, and he has it formalized.
There's a lot of people on this app. That
I don't think you want Jim to be formalizing arguments.
Wait, why not? I read it. It's valid. It's formal.
There's an incident that happened. So we're talking about the same thing. That's horrible.
Wait, we're not talking about the same thing.
I think we are talking about the same thing. I think I just realized what you're talking about. They showed it to me in Discord. Trust me, that's a mess. Don't ever use that in public.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, that's fine. But I have an argument I'm working on that is the same conclusion, but it uses a different intuition pump for the listener, where it's if somebody is alive and tries to come to Christ and they fail, there's a less than 100% chance of heaven. If we pew babies in the womb, there's a 100% chance that they go to heaven. Therefore, if your goal is to achieve the maximum possible world, aka the most people in the perfect place, aka heaven, then pro-life is immoral, right? And that, paired with me being an antinatalist, is just going to be strong motivation for
Yeah, that's a
sending
sort of like
babies to
expected
heaven.
utility argument.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
one thing they could do is they could just say, well, what I suspect they might do is just deny that they make decisions based off expected utility or something.
Well, yeah, but if they're holding to like an age of accountability, then they're just going to not be able to deny that unaliving babies in utero sent them to heaven, right? And if there's some kind of like self-serving reason why, like I don't want to go to hell for unaliving babies in utero, then you can just point to the crucifixion as a moment of self-sacrifice. And if saving 100 babies or 1,000,000 babies or 1,000,000,000,000 babies, there's just going to be some threshold where it's worth you
Well,
going.
that doesn't need to be shown. Like I think like the way you put it, if it's just we should just don't have children.
Yeah, don't have children.
Maybe
But
that's
if,
even
if
better.
you have
right?
children
Because,
and you don't want them, you just pew them, you know, in
like,
utero.
because maybe you could say like not having like it's not a sin.
Guys like trying to get into my car right now.
It's like not a sin.
It's like random old guys like trying to get inside my car.
Like, tell
You
him to
only
fuck
hate
off.
him 'cause
Please
he's
tell him
old.
to fuck off.
Yeah, Cartesian, what were you saying?
Yeah, because like maybe you could say like it's not a sin to not have a child, but it could be a sin to unalive a child. So maybe like it's probably going to be easier to get them to antinatalism first.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually
that'd be
that's actually
interesting.
a helpful criticism. Yeah. So
Dude, what the fuck? This like old random guy outside my house was just like trying to get in the passenger seat of my fucking car while I was like leaving.
that's wild. Yeah, you should. Yeah,
I did. I was like, can I help you? He was like, I need a ride. I was like, well, just fucking ask me, motherfucker. What the fuck? I might have done it for you. Now I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
Did he ask
Motherfucker.
after you told him to ask?
He goes, oh, yeah, I need a ride. I go, you're not getting one now. Fucking try. Fucking here's a life lesson, dude. Don't get in someone's car. Like ask them first. I would have been happy to give you a ride.
What? I didn't know that was socially unacceptable.
Jesus would have given.
I mean, in my area, people are pretty. They're just kind of weird, but
I've
seen that guy. I don't think he's gonna kill me.
Okay, mental note: don't get in people's passenger seats anymore.
Yeah, I mean, probably not a good idea. I've done it before. There's a guy who was like a really bad back, and I gave him a ride, and I felt really good about it. He was slunched over.
What's up, Derek?
What up?
And he gave me a ride, if you know what I mean.
What's up, brother?
I'm gonna be going to bed soon, but I'm just curious your reasonings for being an anti-nihilist.
I think that bringing a being into existence that has the ability to experience suffering is an immoral action.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm an
asking, like,
anti-nihilist.
why,
So
right?
I was like, that's where that's what it entails, right?
No, an anti-natalist just means I don't think people should have babies. Like it's immoral to have babies, right? Like so, I think that
an anti-natalist is just somebody who assigns it. Well, I guess there's multiple definitions, but I mean, generally, it's like assigning a negative value.
Why am I an anti-natalist? Is that what your question?
No, yeah, like what are the reasons? Yeah, I was just asking. For
Oh,
the
okay, yeah.
reasons.
So the reasons is because I don't think that people should do immoral actions.
You don't think people should do immoral actions.
Like he's asking you, why do you think it's immoral to like bring a child in?
Yeah, that's kind of like
Because, what do you mean? Because they have the ability to experience suffering and they can't consent to it. That is the reason.
Okay, okay.
immoral
just because
they didn't
My
consent.
argument here, my argument here is genuinely to play the other side. So I don't want you to think that I'm doing this because I'm not.
Oh wait,
an
yeah,
anti-natalist.
Derek. When you texted me that you're an anti-natalist earlier, did you mean moral anti-realist or do you mean
No. I just meant anti-natalist.
Oh, okay. So we're both
Seems strange to say. because, like,
I'm an
they didn't
anti-natalist.
consent
It's
to-
just I have anti-natalism is like the topic that I've debated the most. So when I'm listening to your arguments, I'm like, I feel like they can be a little bit more robust. So if somebody tries to press you on them, I'd like it would be cool to kind of run the gauntlet with you a little bit or try to like.
I'm down to do that for sure.
strange,
Not,
because,
not
presumably
right
they did
now. We
not
can talk about it,
consent.
but run the
They
gauntlet.
did not consent to like experience pleasure either.
Well,
Yeah, but I don't care. I don't care about that.
I would just say the consent argument. I don't even think is really that much of a press. Mainly because consent.
Me?
I'm just
Well,
saying. I'm just saying
wait.
I'm just saying. So
They're
presumably-
wait one second, Cartesian. They're gonna be some
you don't care
scenarios,
that they
right?
don't consent to experience pleasure.
Well,
I know.
hold on. But
It seems
Wait
consent
one
like
second.
is
for
just the
Wait.
tool.
Sorry, I'm gonna need
somebody
both of you guys
else.
to stop talking.
I'm sure
Okay.
the concern
Wait.
wouldn't
Sorry.
be that they
Cartesian.
aren't.
One second. Okay. Look. There's
Hey everybody, what's going on? Sorry.
there are going to be some views that I hold like atheism, right? Where I care if people don't agree with me, and I think that I can evaluate their views, and if they have a belief I think is false, I want to motivate them to think the same way I do, right? Antinatalism is not one of those things. I think
Yeah,
that
that's fine.
I think yeah, I think
Are
that
you an antinatalist because you think it's favored like on utility considerations?
no, I am an antinatalist because I'm vegan.
Okay,
I think it's
That's so
So you
fucking
think,
based. You have
but
no
is
idea.
the position? Hold on. Is the position that like, not having children will maximize utility? That seems
no,
pretty
I just said
controversial.
that. Wait. Veganism is the limiting to the furthest extent
I know what
practical
veganism.
and practicable the suffering of sentient creatures.
I know what. I don't know why.
Okay,
I
so
don't
wait.
really.
Physicalism. You're jumping in here and like you said. What was it that physicalism just said? Just not just now, but what?
Utility.
No, not the utility. He said something else. He was talking about consent. Yeah, no, the
I
consent.
think he's just trying to inquire about the view.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
listen, it
consent.
seems to me that the veganism consideration. Why is that part of consideration? It seems like that's probably downstream of some sort of further utilitarian
that I was
consideration.
trying to
Wait, Derek, 1 second. Let me go back and forth on this. Yeah, so Cartesian, what the vegan argument, what it furnishes for me, antinatalism wise, is if I let a person be born, there's the they can't consent part, which I care about, but there's also they're gonna suffer part. If I don't let them be born, they're not gonna suffer, guaranteed.
Yeah, but
Okay,
I just want to. Please just let me get in here just
But
for a second. 'Cause I
obviously
want to
you
point out.
agree that like even if so, let's
Can
see
I
if we
can I
can
point
agree with
out?
this in
Just,
principle.
can I
If
point out?
someone's
Just
gonna suffer a little bit,
is there any way I
but
can point
experience a
out
lot
just
of
really
pleasure,
quick?
it'd be
Hold
better
on.
if
Wait,
we
one
create
second,
them.
Derek. I love you.
I just want to point something out really fast, and then I'll mute
Yeah, so
myself.
Say
when you
whatever
ask
dumb
very
thing you want to
calmly,
say.
yeah, go ahead.
That's what I'm trying to do, but every time I get in, I keep. But all I'm trying to say is, when you're pointing out consent, you realize that consent is just the tool you're using to reduce suffering. So you're making a distinction between consent and suffering, but the consent is just the tool.
No, I'm making a
This
case
is what he
where
wanted. This is the important thing that he wanted to say.
no, I'm making a case that my goal is going to be underdetermined. There's going to be a lot of things that I care about, right? Consent not being able to be given for the human life that's being brought into existence, right? The consent of the mother to be able to withdraw consent from a biological process that she didn't consent to in the first place. And then there's going to be the case
What's the
where
problem if consent isn't given?
You said you wanted to say one
What's
thing.
the problem if consent isn't given? What happens?
What do you mean?
Why is that a problem for you?
Because I value consent.
Why?
Because I don't want anybody to impose their will on another creature that has will.
And what happens if you impose the will on another creature?
They have less will.
What happens when they have less will?
What they suffer. I don't know.
Okay, there you go. So it's literally just goes back to suffering.
Yeah. So if it's encompassed with the words that I'm saying, then why make me say different words?
Because you just made a distinction
I don't care
between
about what you're
consent
about
and
to say,
suffering.
right?
It seems like what he's trying to show is that it just goes back to the suffering consideration.
Yeah, it's just suffering. You're making a distinction.
Ask me if I care about suffering.
Do you care about suffering?
I do. Ask me if somebody wasn't going to suffer, but they didn't consent anyway. Would I care about their consent, even though they weren't going to suffer? The answer is yes.
Long sentence to repeat.
Wait, hold on, but you just said the reason why you care about consent is because of the suffering that it prevents.
Ask me if I care about suffering in cases where there's no no suffering.
God,
no
you
suffering.
fucking chased that fine ass Amdir off, bastards.
I just want to be clear. Hold on. So look,
I can't physicalism if you're
Okay,
speaking.
I'm here now, Jmike.
okay, do we agree that there are cases where even if somebody will suffer, they'll experience a lot of pleasure that will outweigh the suffering?
Okay, hold on.
Physicalism.
Physicalism. If you're making this argument, that means you just fundamentally don't understand antinihilation. If you're making this argument.
Wait, Derek. I thought you made one thing and then mute.
Guys, can I get?
I kind of want to hear. I kind of want to hear what Mason's saying as a listener.
Physicalism?
I just want to know if you agree
So
there are
guys,
cases.
Go ahead.
Are there cases where the pleasure an agent will experience outweighs the suffering such that you should give birth to them?
Yeah, there is justified suffering. Yes.
Derek. Sorry, just to be clear, he's talking to me. I love you. I do love you. Yes.
I'm an antinihilist.
I don't care. I know that you are. I like talking more than I like letting you talk. Okay. Look. Yes.
So, two things might be happening here. Either you think, one, well, there are no such cases, or two, maybe there are cases like that, but there's something else that like outweighs those considerations.
There's gonna be something else that outweighs those considerations.
Okay, and that thing is what?
Yeah, that thing is that I'm not gonna know if this baby's or if this person's life or this being's life, right, is gonna be a net positive or net negative experience. So I'd rather just I'd rather just keep them from experiencing it all.
Do you think there are people who have had like a net positive experience? Do you think like the
Yes.
average person
I
has
think
like a net
an
positive
average person.
experience?
Yes.
Okay, so you should expect, if somebody's having a child, you should expect, given conditions, whatever, that you should expect them to have like a net positive experience. So there are cases where where it's like,
Yes.
yeah. So there are cases where you actually think you should have children, where you
No,
just
no,
expect them to have a net positive.
because I can't have certainty that they are going to have a net positive life. I think that.
So what? It doesn't need certainty.
Wait, but I'm saying but the certainty there is just going to mean there's a non-zero. There's a non-0%
I
chance.
know.
Okay, wait, that they're going to experience more suffering than not. Wait, and I'm saying, if you get your your snipped, so you can't have kids. What's the problem with beings suffering? There's no problem.
The certainty doesn't hold up. What certainty is not the concern, right? Presumably, the concern would be whether it's most likely the case that they'll have a net positive life.
Wait, say that again. I'm getting ready to.
Presumably, you don't have to be
drive.
certain that they will have a net positive life, but you have good reason to think they'll have a net positive life.
Yeah, but because there are going to be cases where my degree of certainty is higher for certain things than others, right? And I'm just saying that when it comes to a being that can experience suffering, right? Like, let's say I'm going to derail for a second, but I'm going to go right back. Let's say I push a button and the whole world is vegan tomorrow. I would do it, right? But that's going to be billions and billions and billions of sentient creatures that are going to no longer be born, right? But I'd rather them not be born than be born and suffer. Same cases with human lives, right? Any creature that can experience suffering, because I can just keep them from ever experiencing anything, I'm going to see that as better than taking the shot and rolling the dice. Does that make sense? I'm going to be driving, so I'm going to be...
Am I good to hop in, or because I think
you're going to, yeah.
No, I mean I want your permission. I don't want to like just hop in.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, go ahead.
No, but
Mob.
Mob,
I'm gonna make you a mod. Go ahead.
What?
Also, Mob, I just want to be clear. I wasn't saying that consent doesn't matter. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I could have sworn you said you don't really care about consent. You just care about the suffering.
No. I never said that consent.
He did say that, and he clowned me when I said I care about consent.
I can clarify if you'd like me to clarify my statement.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying when it comes, like when I'm saying if you're making a distinction of consent, right? If you're saying, oh, I care about the consent, I care about the suffering, and then I point out, okay, well, the reason why you care about the consent is because of the suffering, because there are times in which we take away consent from people, and then suffering doesn't happen, right? So like it's like, so a birthday party, right? We generally, like, if we make a surprise birthday party for somebody, we're surprised.
Wait, 1 second. Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this Synth's objection to T-Jump's involuntary imposition of will moral system?
I have no idea. I never seen that debate.
Okay, never mind. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if we throw somebody a surprise birthday party, you know, it's generally agreed that we're not taking their consent into like whether they want it or not. Even if we have like a good judgment that, oh yeah, they possibly could see this as positive, but we're taking their consent out of the consideration as so that something positive could happen.
Are you though? Like, because listen to your phrasing. You said you're taking it out of the consideration. Are you not considering their consent at all?
Well, it's more so
just that saying. Are you considering it, but you're saying there's overriding factors?
Well, they don't consent to it. Like you don't.
I know they don't. But are you taking it out of considerations entirely? Are you not even considering the fact that
and I'm not making a claim that you completely don't care about consent. That's not what I'm saying. Because that would lead to I'm sure you can see that would lead to a lot of suffering. But I'm saying
when I said I care about consent, and you said because of what, and I said because if they don't consent they suffer, and you said so you really just care about suffering. You misspoke.
No, I said so you really care about the reason why you care about consent is because of suffering. So if you made a distinction between
when you say so you really care about consent, what does really mean there? How are you cashing that out?
I'm saying you made my contention was you made a distinction between consent and suffering. You said I care about consent, I care about suffering. I'm like,
so wait, it was Malpass, Jmike. It was Malpass's objection to T-Jump, and he made the exact same surprise birthday party. Yeah.
But I don't know that he's necessarily making. I don't know if he heard that video, but it was.
No, I don't know. If you want to tell me what it is, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, so it's the idea that T-Jump this really inflated head.
No, I know T-Jump, and I have my problems with him. I just never seen the debate.
Well, he's really terrible at what he does. But and he's just like a sophist. But anyway, he has this view that all involuntary impositions of will is immoral, and basically Malpass just presented this kind of birthday party scenario where you have this surprise birthday party, and someone really hates surprise birthday parties, and that's an involuntary imposition on their will. They went through that. It's basically the dialectic.
Yeah, the reductio there, Derek. The reductio there is that surprise birthday parties are morally bad, and that's just silly.
No, I don't even agree with that. I'm just saying.
Wait,
physicalism.
I would agree though. Why would you have a surprise birthday party for someone who hates them?
But hold on. But if
wait, Mob, wait 1 second, Mob. What did you say?
What if you know someone hates surprise birthday parties?
No, the people don't know that.
Malpass was stipulating.
They don't know.
Sorry, Derek. 1 second. Malpass was stipulating that the person doesn't know.
Yeah, it's just an imposition. It doesn't matter that they know. The attitude of the agent's irrelevant because it's still an imposition of will.
Yeah. Right? Wait. Hold on. But
I thought you said they do know.
Are we talking about does intention come into play when a moral action takes place?
Wait, Derek, you haven't seen the video that we're talking about, right? And we're all talking about it, and then you're saying stuff while we're trying to clarify the video. Well, you can watch the video too, right?
I'm just asking. No,
just let us finish this conversation.
But hold on.
Okay, ask after. Okay, I promise that you don't know the video because you said you haven't seen it.
I never said that I did. I'm just asking a clarifying question on what.
I know, but so we're talking about the video. Just shut up for a second. Mob, what was your thing about the intention or something? Wait, that was what you said. What was your thing about?
That was literally me.
I know. I just said that. Shut up. Just shut up. I will kick you, and I love you. So, Mob, after you learned that the intentionality doesn't matter, and Malpass stipulated that the person didn't know that they didn't like surprise birthday parties, what was your response?
No, I misheard Jmike. But if T-Jump is running that as an unbreakable principle, then yeah, I think that's a good defeater.
It's pretty silly.
Thanks for almost hitting me with your car, sir.
Okay, Derek, what do you want to say now?
I was just saying, because that's why I was just asking. I was like, so are we not taking... so intention is not taken into account when we're talking about moral or immoral actions, right? So somebody could intentionally do a moral action or unintentionally do immoral action, right?
Intention is taken into consideration.
So
if I intend to steal a defibrillator... if I intend to steal a defibrillator because I want to help a lady who's having a cardiac arrest, my intention was to do a good thing, even though I stole.
Right, and but you still did an immoral action, right?
No, I did not. I saved a lady from a cardiac arrest.
Wait, hold on, wait, because I thought you just said that your intention was to do a good thing, but you stole.
I said I stole. I didn't say I did a bad thing. I said I stole. Yeah. Okay, but I broke into a CVS and I took a defibrillator.
Okay,
stealing's not bad. Simplicator.
Stealing's
bad dependently.
Yeah. Well, anything is bad and good contextually. It's all of these are contextual.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the point?
What I'm
intention
asking,
matters. That's what your question is?
What you're saying, intention matters to decide whether somebody is doing a moral or immoral action?
Yes, I do think it does. Do you not think it does?
No, I mean, it matters insofar as intentions decide your actions generally, but you could have an outcome of an action.
Somebody trips and ends up taking a dude's skull away from his neck. Did they do a bad thing?
Wait, did they? Wait, hold on.
Did they
They did a bad thing. They did a bad thing for the person that is having their skull taken away.
What's the distinction between a bad thing happened and they did a bad thing? I would say it's intention.
What they did? Well, okay. What is a bad thing? Like, how are you defining a bad thing?
Stop.
Can I give a different scenario?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's say there's two grandsons and they're both two different worlds and they're both identical grandsons, except in one world, he's helping out his grandmother because he genuinely cares and wants his grandma to be well. And in the other world, he's helping his grandma because he just wants to get in her will and get the money that she has. Would you say they're both they're both doing, or how do you phrase it? Is it both good what they're doing in both worlds?
Good for what?
Like, would you say one person's wrong in what they're doing or something?
Like wrong, but these are contextual words. You'd have to point towards what these are good for or what these are bad for, or wrong for.
Means what
so that's
sorry. Wrong means what ought not be done. Right means what ought be done.
Well, you can only point an ought towards a desired endpoint. So you could only have an ought.
Okay,
so you can only tell me.
I won't use ought.
Okay.
So right or good is going to be what you should do. Wrong is going to be what you should not do.
That's the same as ought. Should is just the same as ought.
It's spelled different, dumbass. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So look. What do you define good as?
Good is just a benefit towards something.
Look, my point is you can have two different actions with the same consequences, except one is done out of manipulative intent and exploitation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would say that's bad. That stuff is bad manipulation.
Well, it's bad towards. Well, you said it's okay. Bad manipulation. Again, bad. You would have to define that. You would have to expand upon that.
Sorry, he already did. He already did though. He said that he's taking care of the grandma just because he's money hungry. He doesn't actually care about her.
What is the outcome?
That's not. The outcome that he gets money.
What? No, yeah. I'm saying is the outcome bad for the grandma?
She's gonna be unalive in both scenarios.
Oh, and so the resulting action that happens from the despite the intention is still the same.
Yeah, the consequences are the same.
Okay, so if the action...
One second. I have a quick meta point. The whole point of a hypothetical is to draw on one analogous property. Everything about these situations is the same except for their attitude toward their grandmother. Go ahead.
Right, and then so what I'm saying is because the outcome is what, in from my perspective, the outcome is what matters. So somebody's intention, you could intentionally do a immoral thing, and then that would still be immoral, and then you can unintentionally do an immoral thing, and then that would still be immoral.
Will you answer the hypothetical?
Right, but you haven't given me if the outcome is the outcome moral or immoral?
Sorry. Which grandson would you say is better?
Better for what?
In a morally significant way. However the fuck you use the word better in a moral sense.
These are contextual words. If I tell you, hey, these are contextual, I need you to point them towards...
We're doing an internal critique. Sorry, Derek.
Right.
Derek, we're doing an internal critique. When you say better, you have a reference, right? You have a mental content you're trying to finish with that sound, right?
Okay. Well, whenever
is it better to save is it better to save a baby from being kicked down the stairs, or is it worse?
Generally, yeah, it's better to save a baby from doing that than not.
Holy fuck! So, in general case, you're saying you need to.
Wait, right here. You're cutting out. Wait, right here. You're cutting out. Mob, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
In terms of what he was saying right now, point that you can like, and this is just for any sort of moral discussion. You can basically concoct any sort of hypothetical in which a particular
All right, Derek,
outcome.
One second.
Okay, go ahead.
One second. You guys. Yeah, because I was onto a really strong point. You're saying saving a baby from being kicked down the stairs is generally better, but I would need a specific example. Is that right? To know for sure.
No. No. Because what I was telling Mob, and this is what I was going to tell you, is that you can concoct basically any sort of hypothetical where something that would generally be considered like one of the most immoral things you could possibly think could actually end up being a moral good.
I agree. You could say infinite galaxies of suffering for infinite time is stopped if you do this one immoral thing. I would say that immoral thing is now moral. I agree. So the context in this one is going to be the hypothetical with the fucking. So answer, which grandson is morally better?
Do you not understand that what you're asking me is not like a defining like the implications of their
Stop. Wait. Don't say anything else except for the grandson who treats her nice because he's nice, or the grandson who treats her nice because he's mean.
Bro.
Yeah. What's crazy is the fact that you keep talking.
Are better
right?
in terms of a moral.
Okay, you're dumb. You're dumb. I thought you were smart, but you're not.
Wait,
right?
Are you gonna allow me? Are you gonna allow me to explain, or are you gonna just keep calling me dumb?
Yeah, I'm gonna allow you to explain. But to be clear,
Okay.
you're saying they're
I'm
morally
telling you,
equal.
somebody.
Wait, Derek, did you hear what I just said?
No, that is not what I said.
You can explain.
No,
just
I think there's a delay.
They're morally equal, right?
No. What I'm saying is that like if somebody does moral action but is unintentionally doing it, like their intention is to do an immoral action, but they do a moral action. What I would say is that would be like an irresponsible like mindset to take, or that probably wouldn't be an optimal mindset to take. But they didn't implicitly do an immoral action; they did objectively a moral action. So if you're telling me which grandson is, or you're asking me which grandson is better, I would say that the one that's doing an immoral action that has a moral outcome would be doing an irresponsible thing good. Like it would just be failing.
Look. The same grandson scenario, but one of them accidentally falls with a kitchen utensil on his grandmother, and the other one pretends to accidentally fall, but he did it on purpose. Are those two grandsons morally equal?
Are the outcomes the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're morally. The outcome of that would still be morally the same.
And then this is an argument for intentions don't matter.
I never said intentions don't matter. I'm talking about when
I didn't say you did. You asked me if intentions matter. I said yes, but you're saying intentions don't matter morally, right?
No, I'm saying intentions don't matter when we're trying to decide whether an action is moral or immoral. It's either moral or immoral despite your intentions.
Okay, that's weird to me, but that's fine. I gotta go actually, but I gotta end the live. I'm about to pick up my fiance from work, but I will be back on in like 4 or 5 hours. And
unfortunately, I'll be asleep.
That's fine. There's obviously some part of the day where our schedules align, so I'm excited to talk to you about other stuff, right? I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, hey, I know there's a delay, but I would be interested in like hashing this out further with you, because like and this is not like a slide at you or this. I know it's just really me, you, and the other 10 people watching this, but I just want to say that like when I make a claim or I make a statement or I make any sort of thing, a lot of times in here, I'll get like this response that it's like what I'm saying is super fringe, or what I'm saying is super like, oh my God, what are you saying? Sorry, for some reason I was getting a call. 1 second. But yeah, no, like I'll get this reaction, but it's just like I can substantiate and I can explain any of these claims. Like, so anything that I'm saying, if you just want to ask or you want to say,
Yeah. So could you have fringe views and be able to instantiate them and support them?
sure, yeah, no, I don't have any problems with that. Yep.
Okay, because I agree that you don't seem to be the kind of person who just thinks a position is cool, you adopt it, right? I understand that you're going to be able to have
No, hell no.
at least
I've run these into the ground.
right, exactly. So you're going to be the same kind of person who like knows the popular arguments, and not only that, but knows their like popular rebuttals, right? So I'm excited to have these discussions with you, but I really do got to go. Love you, brother.
All right, bro. See ya.